Sure. Event listeners are a fundamental concept in event-driven programming. In Python, event listeners are often used in GUI applications to respond to user actions like clicks, key presses, or mouse movements. In this tutorial, we will focus on using the tkinter library, which is a standard GUI toolkit in Python, to illustrate how event listeners work. What is an event listener? An event listener is a function or method that waits for an event to occur and then executes a specific block of code in response. In GUI applications, typical events include button clicks, key presses, and mouse movements. Setting up your environment before we start coding, make sure you have Python installed on your machine. You can download it from Python.org downloads. Creating a simple GUI with event listeners. Let's create a simple GUI application that responds to a button click and a key press. Step 1. Import the required libraries. Python import tkinter ASAC from tkinter import message box. Step 2. Create the main application window. Python create the main application window root. From set to root. Title event listener example root to geometry 300 to 200. Step 3. Define event handler functions. Now we will define the functions that will handle the events. Step 4. Create UI components. Next, we will create a button and bind it to the button click event. We will also bind a key press event to the main window. Event handler for key press. Def on key press event message box. Show info. Few pressed the event or key. Create a button and bind it to the click event button. Button root, text click me, command on button click button pack pay 20. Bind the key press event to the main window root bind key press. On key press start the main loop root main loop running the code 1. Copy the code above into a Python file, e.g. event listener py. Run the file in your terminal or command prompt using bash python event listener py3. A window will appear with a button. Click the button to see the event listener in action. You can also press any key to trigger the key press event. Thus, any say to view the key Conclusion: in this tutorial, you learned how to create a basic GUI application in Python using tkinter, and how to implement event listeners for button clicks and key presses. This is just a starting point. You can expand on this concept by adding more complex event handling and user interactions in your applications. Feel free to experiment by adding more buttons or handling different events.